Here's a GRE vocab question. Let's take a look. The senator's critics erroneously assumed his blank of folksy charm indicated a lack of political acumen, when in fact, beneath the surface, he was a canny operator. A lot going on here. And this is a quintessential GRE question, right? Where it's going to go back and forth, negating, saying, in fact, he was this, but under the surface, he was that. A lot to break down. So let's actually start at the end of the sentence, which is helpful sometimes. The truth of the matter is, the way that this politician actually is that he's a canny operator. What does that mean? It means that he's clever, right? He's smart. He's able to navigate the political landscape. So that is the truth, right? Because that's in fact. And it's beneath the surface. So maybe that tells us on the exterior, he isn't a clever operator. What's the opposite of clever? I like to draw this sort of spectrum out here. If clever's on this side, what's on the other side? Well, maybe a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Not stupid, but not a lot going on intellectually. So I'm going to abbreviate that. Not a lot going on intellectually, right? And I'm simplifying. Okay, so beneath the surface, he's canny, he's clever, but maybe on the surface, he's not. And that's what this is saying, right? It's saying that the critics wrongly, that's what erroneously means, assume that maybe his cover of folksy charm, his surface of folksy charm, indicated a lack of political acumen, so a lack of cleverness, right? When in fact, in reality, beneath the surface, he's actually very clever. Okay, so we have an idea what this sentence means, and I can't stress enough how important it is to get an understanding of what the sentence is saying before you jump to the words. It's so tempting to look at the words first and start maybe like pairing them and doing things like that, but first you want to understand what the sentence is saying. Okay, now that we do, and we're looking for this, we can see what words match. Carapace, I don't know what that means, so I'm going to leave that blank. Foundation. Does foundation mean cover? No, it doesn't, right? And some people might want to like try to stretch it and say, well, foundation, this is the way he really is, or something like that. We can't do that. Foundation does not mean cover. I know what the word foundation means, and it does not mean cover. Okay, veneer. If you've had extensive dental work, you might know what this word means, and you might see why it's one of the correct ones. A veneer is something like in dentistry that you put on a tooth to cover, your old tooth, your decaying tooth, your smaller tooth, whatever, right? But a veneer is a cover. It's a surface. It's a way to hide what's underneath. And so that is one of our correct answers. Authenticity, well, that doesn't mean cover. Core means something very close to foundation, so that doesn't work. Now, maybe I know what Darth means, maybe I don't. Let's go with the worst case scenario. Let's say you don't, and you're down to these two. Well, let me just say that being down to a 50-50 on a tough vocab question like this is actually pretty darn good. If you can do that for all of the tough vocab questions, overall, you're gonna do pretty well on the test, assuming you get the easier ones correct. But if you don't know what these means, Darth means a lack of. Well, that's not what we're talking about. So we have to choose carapace, which means a cover. It literally means, by the way, a shell. So if you're looking at a crab, it has a carapace over it. So correct answers here are carapace and veneer. For more GRE tips and tricks or to sign up for my online course, follow the link on my profile.